Good morning. Time for a Take Time Tuesday, and we start by breathing. So breathe in and breathe out. I know it's been a couple months since I have posted last, and the reality is that I needed some time to just sit with myself and think some things through. My life personally has some really great things going on, and then professionally really not. And as I'm watching the collapse of Rome in real time, I get overwhelmed. And so I haven't been posting because it's a lot for me, and I feel that I don't want to be inauthentic on video. I needed some time to collect my thoughts before I could post again. I need you to understand that if you're watching this video, there are still plenty of people out there who will choose to do the right thing and choose to show up and choose to be that person that brings community together rather than create divisiveness to instill fear and keep everyone separate and under control. History is cyclic, and we are seeing that in real time now to an extreme, sure, but all I can do is hope that things pass and we learn and move on from it. I would never say that these are the darkest times that humanity has ever existed in, because there are some amazing things happening out there quietly under the radar, and people are fighting back, and people are proving that just because those in power want things to be a certain way doesn't mean that that's the state of the world. I think part of that right now is that there are a large percentage of people who remember the good old days, which in reality never existed because human memory is faulty that way. Things were always an evolution of culture and an evolution of learning and understanding, and the people who are least comfortable in seeing the progress of humanity moving forward will always use memory and fear to try to return to an ideal that just doesn't exist. Unfortunately, there's also the weaponization of religion that's going on right now, which again is not new. In the last 4,000 years has been used over and over again in different venues, different ways. But we're seeing, because of social media, a hyper focus and a hyper awareness of it for the first time in human history, rather than waiting for the historians to talk about it later on. That doesn't change the fact that it impacts us now. That doesn't change the fact that the terrible things that are happening right now directly impact us. It is harder to buy food. It is harder to stay healthy. It is much harder to find mental peace, especially when you were already struggling before this started. I'm no exception. I have lived with the reality of my head being very different from the reality that is external my entire life. And it's not until maybe in the past 6 years that I have learned how to start reconciling with that. And a large part of that is finding the right people to be around and finding the right support network and the right person or persons to be your support structure, because you've asked for it, because you have to ask for it. We're not meant to do things by ourselves. We're not meant to be that pillar that stands alone. That's just not how humanity works. And if you think that's how being male works, then you need to reevaluate that, because you're wrong. Period. Full stop. Machismo is stupid. It ultimately just ends up with you being lonely and miserable and not a contributing member of society. And I know that I've rambled for well over 5 minutes now, but And I don't even have a specific direction for this video this time. I just needed to get what was going on in my head out, and to remind you that you need to take time for yourself at some point during the day. Keep that in mind. Keep it close. Reach out to the people around you. Something to think about. Y'all have a good day.